Alright. The day is finally here, the day when I take out my 1992 Volkswagen Golf VR6-Turbo. It's been sitting for a few years, which you can tell on the dust, but I have to take it out now because I signed myself up for a race in about a week and then another race 2 weeks after that, so I have to get things going. I also covered up my other track car because I didn't want to spoil it for this video. It's been featured in another video, so you have to stay tuned for that. What I'm going to do to the Golf is I'm going to first and foremost take it out, and then I'm going to take some interior out and put in my bucket seat. I have to drain the tank from old ethanol fuel and put some fresh new one in. I have to also fix the tires for the race and some minor engine things to make it run smoothly. But first I have to fix this workshop because it's been a week full of work and the workshop looks like crap. So we'll have to fix that first and then we'll get back into the car. So this is the car. It's a 1992 Volkswagen Golf VR6. It's originally a 2.8 liter engine, and it's a 6-cylinder engine, but it's not a common or conventional V6 engine. All of the pistons have the same, or all of the cylinders have the same cylinder head. Usually on a V6 engine you have 2 separate cylinder heads for each 3 cylinders, but these are made really compact and puts out originally 174 horsepower. There is a synchro version that it's 2.9 liter and it puts out 181, I think, or something like that. But because it's such a small engine, it's really easy to build around, and also it puts out a lot of torque for just being stock. And I bought this as I was 17-year-old. I didn't have any driver's license. Me and my friend took the train to a nearby city to buy this car, and he had to drive it home because I didn't have the license. So once I got the license, I drove this around a lot, and I fell in love with it because it's a really funny car to drive even when it's stock. It makes an awesome noise even when it's stock as well. Once you put it like a open air filter on, it's amazing, and it's not that big of a car either, and it looks quite good for being that old of a car. And yeah, so I drove this around for a couple of years, and then I wanted more power, and a lot of people in Sweden are doing or did turbo conversions on these types of engines, and we're making them run really well. So I thought might as well do the same. So I made a first build where I machined the pistons to lower the compression of the engine, and I did a ship tune and some Chinese turbo and like bad quality injectors and stuff like that. I tried to make it really budget, and it ran okay. I think so. I had a lot of problems with like the math and everything around there, but it ran okay anyways for like being the first turbo build you ever do. And then I just got stuck of the feeling to build something with your own 2 hands and making it work. So as I mentioned in the introduction video, so I followed through with building another engine for this car. I made it completely forged with forged rods and forged pistons, and yeah, I really went balls out and built the gearbox from scratch and put in a differential and everything around there. So I tried to keep the car as stock as I could. Everything is stock almost in its exterior. It's like another grille without the emblem from the Volkswagen. It's a stock bumper. I just sprayed it in the same color as the car, same as the wideners for the fenders and the door lists. And the side skirts are not original, they're aftermarket, but they have a quite low profile, so I like them anyways because they make the car look like one piece. And the rims, I'm completely in love with these types of rims. They're from Corvette, so they have Corvette bolt pattern. I have conversions from Volkswagen to a Corvette bolt pattern, which are a type of spacers. I have Porsche 911 brakes for this car. They're not on right now because I can't fit my drag racing wheels on with them brakes, so these are actually stock brakes, and I don't recommend anyone to drive with stock brakes and these types of power. Here you can see that I'm missing a handle. I have bought 2 new handles for this car. I had to take this handle to repair another car. It was an emergency, and he had to have a handle that worked for this car, so yeah, I just jonked this one off of this car. So I bought 2 new handles for this car, which I'm going to mount. This bird poop is not going to come out that well. It's been sitting for a few years, so that's not good of me to not take that away in time. Yeah, around the car, everything is stock bumper, stock rear lights, and tinted window. Other than that, it's stock. Another muffler, of course. Stock, everything. And I like the feeling of a sleeper, like having 550 horsepower in this type of car. It's really sleeper, and I didn't want it to look super race anyway, so I just did rims and like the side skirts and lowered it, of course. And the headlights are some kind of BMW replica with angel eyes. Not my favorite at all. The indicators and fog lights are tinted. That's the only difference. This license plate number is actually quite funny. The first 3 letters actually means like having intercourse in Norwegian, so that's really funny. All of my friends and my family thought that were really funny when I bought a car with this kind of license plate number. But no one cares anymore. I don't even care about it. I don't even run this car on normal roads anymore, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's outside of the car, stock as I could. So the interior is also stock. It's chairs, Recaro chairs from a car just like this. Not this car, unfortunately, but a car just the same. I bought them off a scrapyard. I think I pulled them off a car out of a scrapyard. The steering wheel is from a VW Polo Mark 1, the first Polo, the GTI version. I'm pretty sure. They're quite uncommon. I have another one. I have a spare one. I don't know why, but I have a spare one, but they're quite uncommon, but they fit right on, and I like the look of it, and it's a really small diameter, so I liked it by there. And the gear lever link is from VW Golf MK4, like 2002. I had to change that one because I had on the gearbox I have a lever for, or like the whole thing that runs like selects the gear selector is from a Golf Mark IV, and it makes the gear changes really. I could get into the gearbox for hours, but it makes this combined with the gears I have in the gearbox makes the shifts really tight, and it feels awesome to do even like drag races or street races with this one. It's super nice. It's super tight, and you can really feel it's not any flexing at all. I have a panel here, a switch panel with just one switch and a master switch. The master switch is for the battery, so whenever you hit that one, it kills the battery completely, or it disconnects the battery from the car. And the red switch is for the fuel pump, so I can just manage that one by itself. I fit the ECU in. I wanted to keep it covered and easy to access with the USB cable, so I put it in the glove compartment, and it makes it really easy to connect to if I do need to do any tunes. I'm running a Link G4 Storm. It's now kind of an old system. I'm actually surprised how well it works with this engine, because this one only has 4 outputs for like ignition coils and injectors, but it works. There's a way to work around it, so you can run a 6-cylinder engine anyways, and it works super well, super well. On the side I have some gauges, except for the ones in the dash. I have some gauges. The lower one is for mass airflow, so I can see my exhaust values in real time when when I run the car. So if I blow a hose or anything, it will like spike, and I can see if I have a wrong mixture anyway. The second one is for turbo pressure, and I don't look at that one that much. It doesn't matter. I know what the top PSI output is. The top one is for exhaust temperature as well. I don't look at that one either, but it's good if you're running lean anywhere. All of the exhaust are getting hot, and you can see that it comes over a certain type of degrees. So that's why I have it. It's also the mass air or the air fuel ratio lambda is connected to the ECU as well, and works with the ECU in real time. It is updates like 3 times a second. It's super fast. Works really well. So yeah, that's the interior of the car. The back seats are stock. I don't need to show you that one. They're coming out anyway. So yeah, that's the whole interior of the car. Super boring. No roll cage, nothing like that. I wanted to keep it stock. If I would have done it now, I would have been building a half cage, I think, because it looks super nice when you pull out the back seat and you put in a roll cage in like the half of the back of the car. So yeah. So maybe I'm going to show you maybe I should show you the heart of this whole car, and it's lying here. I have to say something before I show you this one. I built this car when I was 18 years old, and around the time Fast and Furious was like the real hip thing. Everything was blue. Every hose was blue, everything. If I would have built it now, it would have been black, everything. So I don't even like the look of it anymore, but I don't have the energy or the time to like switch everything out to black hoses everywhere, and I don't want to tape them or anything like that. So, and some of these things you can't even buy blue anymore, like the fuel rail or the pressure regulator for the fuel and anything like that. You can't buy in blue anymore, and I don't think the coolant hoses are available anymore in blue anyway. But yeah, this is the engine. This is the core engine of this car. It's drilled to 2.9 liter, so it's 1 millimeter bigger cylinder walls than before, and I'm running forged pistons, forged rods for the pistons, and everything is upgraded as it could be, like top of the line stuff. I can't get into everything of it, but the turbo is Holset Super HX40. It works super well. It has a kind of an early spool, so it makes the durability of the driving experience super nice. You don't need to wait until super high RPMs to have a high output of pressure, and it's been working really well with this car. The exhaust manifold is actually a Chinese cast iron Chinese manifold, and it's working super well. I tried it on my first engine. It was working so well there, so I thought maybe I should try it on this one too, and it's been working good. I know it's not the optimal what's it called, manifold to run, but it works for mine. And the intake manifold is from a company called SBA. It's a little bit dirty now, which you can see, but it's working really well as well. Many of these cars runs with a short runner intake, where you have a tube in the front of an engine, and you have the connection through the valve at the side. And the problem you can get with these types is that it fills air in several cylinders before the other ones. So this cylinder, or this manifold, actually pulls in the air and distributes it quite evenly around over the 6 cylinders. And yeah, I try to make everything as nice as I could, like with the socks for the hoses and for the cables, and make everything look kind of nice, well done. And also for my sake, it's easier to, if there is any problem, then I can troubleshoot it easier. Yeah, one of the things I have to do is I have to fix an ignition coil for cylinder number 1. It should be right here. And I also have to fix the breather for the valve cover. I had to steal a connector for the hose for another thing, so I have to fix this too. And it's also, the hose is broken, so it breathes like bad valve cover air, like from the crankcase bleeder. Yeah, so that's the engine. The gearbox is not that easy to show, but it's stock gearbox housing with, I don't remember which types of gears they're in, but it's of an Audi TT, I think, and a limited slip differential also in the car, or in the gearbox. So yeah, that's all of the car. As I said, if I would have built this by now, I would have built it all black, but it's whatever now. It works as it should, so I'll just might leave it as it is. Maybe in the future I'll change it if I keep this car. But it's kind of hard to get rid of this car as well, because it's like my first car, so it's got a high amount of sentimental value for me also. So yeah, this is the car that I'm going to work on. I got some new parts, not that many. This is the chair that's going in. It's an old Sparko Pro 2000 chair. It's going in the car. It's a lot lighter and a lot more nice to sit in. It's super dirty. It's been sitting out just in the workshop, just gathering dust, so I had to clean it. And all the filters, some spare ignition coils, and the tuner handles for the doors. I also bought 2 pair of runner rims for drag race by my friend, who's been driving one of these cars, and to have in the rear. And I bought them off of him just a week ago, and I just got them, and they are super light. These are 7 kilos. These are 14 pounds of weight, so it's super nice to have in the rear when you're drag racing. It's you want to reduce the amount of unsuspended weight, so these wheels are super heavy, so if I would be running these wheels in the back, it would be a lot of weight that I didn't actually have to do on the drag race trip. So I wanted to keep it lighter, so I bought this off of him. So yeah, this is the car, so let's get to work. Alright, so I realized as I was editing this first part that there were a lot of talking and not much doing, but I still wanted to get kind of a backstory to the car and what we've been through. I also realized that I shot material that added up to just under 1 hour when it was edited, and that is going to be a bit too much for one episode, so I'm going to make it a total of 3 parts. Thank you for watching this long and stuck through the backstory. The next episode is going to be way more exciting. Remember to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you again in a few days.